Good morning. This is Rosalie. I'm happy to be back again. I have been away for 5 months, but I was not ill. No one in my family was seriously ill during that time, so we were okay. Today, as I am committed to doing, is bringing some food for you to thought and ponder to think about. Today is the 19th day of February, 2021. We're in the middle. We, meaning the Americans, the country of America, is in the middle of the celebration of Black History Month. Years ago, I made a commitment that I would speak on Black history and I speak on domestic violence. Those are my two main issues. Usually, when I speak, I have a picture of Sojourner Truth with me because her main points was the abolition of slavery and women's right to vote. So I come standing on her shoulders and other shoulders today as I want to talk for a few minutes about what I call drum majors for freedom. Now, Dr. King, in his speech during February the 4th, 1968, that was 2 months before he was assassinated. He preached what is called the drum majors instinct sermon. And in that sermon, he said, and I quote, "If you want to say that I was a drum major, say that I was a drum major for justice. Say that I was a drum major for peace. Say that I was a drum major for righteousness." That's the end of the quote. So that's why I've chosen the term drum majors for freedom. Uh, Today I want to talk about two people that were drum majors, if you will, for freedom. That's Carter G. Woodson and Richard R. Wright Sr. Carter G. Woodson stated, and I quote, that those who have no record of what their forefathers accomplished lose the inspiration which comes from teaching of biography and history. And I repeat, those who have no record of what their forefathers accomplished lose the inspiration which comes with teaching of biography and history. That's the end of the quote. He started what was once known as Black History Week in 1926. And Black History Week was chosen because of the 12th and the 14th. The 12th being Abraham Lincoln's birthday, and the 14th being Frederick Douglass's birthday. Again, you say, what I got drum majors for freedom? Drum majors are those descendants of Africans who were slaves in America. These descendants are born in the United States of America. Carter G. Woodson, as I said, founder of ASALH. That's the Association for the Study of Life and History, for the study of African American life and history. ASALH still exists. It's an organization, I believe, I know that its main headquarters are in Washington, D.C. Before he died, Carter G. Woodson was a professor at Howard University, and that was a part of the establishment of ASALH. So you can go online and look up ASALH, and each year they have a theme for Black History Month. This year their theme is family, identity, I believe, and history. So look that up. What else do I want to talk about? Oh, and the other thing, the two people that I have chosen to talk about it today, Carter G. Woodson and Richard R. Wright. Carter G. Woodson was a historian, an actor, a journalist, as well as the founder of ASALH. Well, Richard G. Wright, to give you a background of something called Freedom, the National Freedom Day. I don't know how many people know about that. I didn't know about that until someone sent me a newspaper clipping about a couple years ago, and I haven't spoken about this before, but felt led to do it this year. National Freedom Day. Interesting, I thought. It's a day that honors the signing of the resolution that became the 13th Amendment of the Constitution of the United States of America. An important day, I would think, that we would all want to remember those who are of African American descent as well as those who are not. It's a part of American history. Now, the purpose of Freedom Day, like I said, is to draw attention to the struggle of Africans in America fight for freedom. And we want to memorialize the signing of the 13th Amendment, of that resolution and the 13th Amendment. Do we place enough emphasis on that? You know, we want to talk about Juneteenth. I'm not going to go there, though. Juneteenth, but why not talk about the day that the 13th Amendment was signed? Yes, Texas was late in getting the news, but it had already been signed and into law way before Texas got the message, and that was really sad. But that's a different topic. Let's talk a little bit about the man. Oh, how is the National Freedom Day celebrated? Usually, a wreath is placed on by the Liberty Bell in Philadelphia. I called the Constitution Center, but I couldn't get an answer. I guess they're closed because of the pandemic. Because I wanted to know if one had been placed there this year. Yes, hopefully that it was. Now, who was Richard R. Wright? Richard R. Wright was born a slave, but he was born a slave in 1855 in Dalton, Georgia. He died in Philadelphia on July 2nd, 1947. His life was very interesting in that he was a military officer, he was an educator, he was a college president, he was the founder of a college, he was a politician, he was a civil rights activist, and he also was the founder of a bank. He was a great entrepreneur. National Freedom Day is not on any calendar that I could find. I have two calendars that was published by two different companies in my house. So nothing to indicate that February 1st was National Freedom Day. I have a couple of old calendars, one from 1982 and one from 87. National Freedom Day was not on either of those calendars. Talked with some friends who were educators and in social services. No one knew of such a day, was totally unaware. I wonder why such a day of such importance has been left out of our history books. Personally, I think that this is a day that we should look at, we should honor, and we should celebrate going forward. I want to take this time to say thank you to Carter G. Woodson for Black History Week, and so that lays the foundation for Black History Month. I want to say thank you to Richard R. Wright for what he did in advocating for us and showing how one can go from being born a slave to being the president of a college to becoming to starting a bank. All of that as he had to fight segregation and a multitude of other hardships. But it can be done, and it was done. So thank you, Carter G. Woodson. Thank you, Richard R. Wright. And thank you for your attention.